Good morning, champions. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Keep turning your math books to page 277. Turning your math books to page 277. Now, as we look on number one, we'll be writing the before and after number. That's what we'll be dealing with today, the before and after numbers. So we have three problems on the board, and we need the before and the after numbers by twos. So let's look at 148. What comes before 148? Which number? Which number? 146. Great job. Now let's keep going. 146, 148, 150. Great. Let's go to the next number that we have here. We have 186. What comes before 186 by twos? By twos. It's in the 80s family, 180 family. 184. Good job. 184, 186, 188, 188. That's great. Now let's go to the last example that we do have here on the board. We have 170. What comes before 170 by 2? 168. Great. 168, 170, 170, 172. Good. 168, 170, 172. So that's how you solve number one. Those are a few examples from the problem number one by recalling the before and after numbers by two. Now let's look at number two. Now number two wants us to write the missing plus or minus sign. Let's look at a few examples that we have for number two. We have 9 blank 6 equals 3. So is it 9 plus 6 or 9 minus 6? I'll give you 3. Great, 9 minus 6. Okay, let's go over to the next one. 10 blank 2 equals 8. Now, is it 10 plus 2? I thought 10 plus 2 might be greater than 8. 10 plus 2 is 12. That is correct. So it should be 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2. Let's go to the last example we have for 2. 5 blank 5 equals 10. Now, was it 5 plus 5 or 5 minus 5? 5 plus 5. Good job. That's how you solve number two. Let's look at number three. Let's move to number three. So let's look at number three. Number three wants us to color the matching times the same color. Now you have two different types of clocks. Remember we discussed in class, we have the analog clock, which looks like this, and the digital. Digital will be the clock that you maybe hear the Apple Watch or in your parents' vehicle. Most of the time we see digital. So what you have to do for your problem is match the analog with the digital. Notice the analog is pointed at 2 o'clock and the digital is 2. So both of them will be the same exact color that you do color. Okay? So make sure you look at each clock, then you can tell which color to color that problem. As you flip the page over to 278, it simply asks you to either write greater than or the less than sign in the blank for that problem. So let's look what we have. We have 62 and 26. Is 62 greater than? Are we writing this sign? Or is it less than? Is this number 62? Is it greater than this number? That's correct. So we'll be using that sign. And let's go over to here. We have 180 and 179. Is 180 greater than 179 or is it less than? Greater. Good job. And lastly, we have 184 and 204. Now, 184, is that greater than this number? Is it greater than or less than? Correct, 184 is less than 204. So we use that sign, the less than sign. So that's how you solve number one. Now let's look at number two. Number two gives us a word problem. It asks us two things. It says, one, circle the fact in the story problem that is not needed, and then write the answer in a combination. Basically saying there's a part of this problem that we basically do not need at all. So let's read it first to find out what that problem is so we can circle it. So Alex rode his bike 3 blocks. Tina and Tanya each rode their bikes 4 blocks. How many blocks did Tina and Tanya ride all together? So first we have to identify what doesn't belong here. It seems that it's talking about Tina and Tanya only. Only Tina and Tanya. So do we need to read about Alex and his bike? No, we do not. So what we do, we circle that one. Now let's go back to where we had Tina and Tanya each rode their bikes 4 blocks. How many blocks did Tina and Tanya ride all together? Notice Tina and Tanya. That's going to be our factors that we have here to help us solve this problem. And they rode their bikes 4 blocks. Notice Tina is one person and she rode her bike how many blocks? 4. And let's go Tanya. How many blocks did she ride her bike? 4. Now when it asks us all together, that means we are adding. Okay, so the adding here and the equal sign there. So what is 4 plus 4? That is 8. So together they rode the bikes 8 blocks all together. That's how you solve that problem. So the second word problem we have is just like the first one. We're going to first read it and circle the fact that doesn't belong, and then we'll be able to write our combination that we do have. So let's read. It says, Dad worked in the yard for 5 hours. Mom worked in the yard for 4 hours. Alex worked in the yard for 3 hours. How many more hours did Dad work in the yard than Alex? So notice the last one. It says, how many more hours did Dad work in the yard than Alex? So it's only asking about Dad and Alex. So do we need the part about Mom working in the yard for 4 hours? No, we do not. So we're going to circle that part. That's a fact. We don't belong. Now let's go back to what we do have up here. It says Dad worked in the yard for 5 hours. So we have 5 here, and go to Alex. Alex worked in the yard for 3 hours. So it makes it easier to just break it down and find it in number words. That's how we solve our problem. Now, is this an addition word problem or subtraction? The last one is addition. It says how many more? How many more? So that's how you tell that's a subtraction problem. So 5 minus 3, what does that give us? What is 5 minus 3? That is 2. And like I said, the 2 there. So Dad worked in the yard 2 more hours than Alex. Dad worked in the yard 2 more hours than Alex. And lastly, we had number 3, which asks us how many cents. So we have a quarter, which is 25, a penny, which is worth 1, another penny, which is worth 1 cent, and then we have a nickel and a nickel. This is an example of how to solve number 3. So to make it easier on us, so like I said, let's start off the big point first, 25, and let's go over to the 2 nickels. 2 nickels together makes 10. So what is 25 plus 10? What's 25 plus 10? That's 30 what? 35. 35, let's add the 2 pennies. 35, 36, 37. Let's add it again. 25 plus 5 is 30. It's another 5. Excuse me. 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 plus 5 is 35. 36, 37. So there you have it. 37 cents. So as you look at the next one, they give you a quarter, 2 pennies, a nickel, and a dime for number 3. So you break it down the same way, okay?